Alright. Excuse me. Alright. So, last we left off here, we had been cornered by the Adeptus Mechanicus here. They basically insisted their way on board, and now we have to deal with what the hell they want from us. In particular, Pascal has to be involved. He's mandatory, I imagine, has something to do with him as a result. And this is right before we are landing on Dargonus, so... yeah, good stuff. Last time we managed to get some nice item upgrades, so Heinrich's is a much stronger sword. Yoliat's got a new helmet, and then Cassia has a pretty crazy ability to get willpower now. Group dressed in the group, so yeah, these guys, their eyes are fixed on Pascal. Note the group is not monolithic. Some of them are more heavily armed and follow this large tech priest, this guy, clad in battle armor. Others keep a respectful distance and cast inquiring looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture belies his tall frame. This guy over here. Despite the hood concealing his face, you recognize him as Opticon 22, who you encountered on Footfall. Footfall, that's the name of it. I couldn't remember it yesterday. Or earlier. Time's weird. Technically, it's past midnight. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic and thy forge, for rust begets rust. Pascal Hahnemann, in the name of Adeptus Mechanicus, you are under arrest. Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement. He's extremely robotic. He has like no human flesh, pretty much. The Adeptus Mechanicus offers their apologies for who would like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faculty unit of the Roche's territory. Study them quickly. You identified a rare armor the enormous tech priest is wearing as a Secutor's plated mechanized suit. Carries the imprints of many battles and has been marked and announced the status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looks fairly severe to the point of endangering its operation. The slivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and then, convulsions shake the tech priest's body and painful sounding hiss comes from his vox. Tall tech priest spoke to you, looks more peaceful and makes a point of not drawing his weapon. An air of concern about the way he frequently glanced over his fellow, scrutinizing his condition, so not exactly on the best terms. Also, I like the half red, half black uniforms. Who are you? Instrument of Omnissiah authorized to punish and extract vengeance, known designation Tazos Hahnemann. Okay, same last name. Identification codes recognized and confirmed. These units are who they declare themselves to be. We're not going to just immediately hand over Pascal. What charge are you trying to arrest a member of my retinue? Heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the world of Alpha Gamma, and making an attempt to lie for the servant Omnissiah. So we pretty clearly know the second line here is false. First and third could theoretically be possible. Faculty unit will be removed. Faulty. Why do I keep calling him faculty? The faulty unit will be removed in the name of Omnissiah. I condemn you. He is in pain. So I'm not reading much of the flavor text. Like I said, it's past midnight here, and my mouth can only handle so much. Your malfunctioning tech combat, I deem your logical conclusions questionable. Statement is false, tech writer. Tazos Hahnemann is willing, undergoing holy torment deterioration, which however does not critically affect his cognitive capacity for data analysis. Unit calling itself Pascal Hahnemann, we have information that implicates you. Having learned that you are a member of the retinue, a maintenance specialist in the service of Rotator von Valencius, we have come here with the goal of meeting you, intercepting you, engaging you in combat. How do you suppose he was involved in the events of Alpha Gamma? It suggests that the unit which used Magus Explorator Hahnemann's identification code performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vox array, introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its curation. This fact points to the unit's criminal complicity with the heretic Cubist Delphine. Do you have proof that this is who they say they are? According to Archive 15E9 or 1E99237, Magus Explorator was served on maintaining the ship, identifier classified in capacity reliquary caretaker, tens of damage to both organic and the sacred part of his body, blah blah blah. Okay. And enough of them survived that I can put them into this big battle harness. Vengeance, I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following blasphemous miscreants' bloody tracks. Okay, so they're saying Pascal potentially used his codes. What do you have to say to this, Pascal? Denied the charges, cool. Never plotted. Cognitive purity vows never distorted. You know his unique identification code never stolen. False witness. We need evidence here. Just prove ready to work in cooperative mode. Tartarus gives a haughty look and lets out a howl of wrath. Archiving. Techbureau Tartarus opposes lay participation in the investigation to search the truth. Unit Opticon 22 advisors in favor of House von Valancius. Representatives participation request. I'm wondering why this persuasion would work for the Adeptus Mechanicus. I feel like it wouldn't. I think we should discuss this private big chap screen friction. Crest denied. He has passed sanctification and has relic privileges, lacked the authority access level necessary to command this unit. Alright, well, let's do the legalese. Insist on joint investigation and arresting rogue trader's retinue member without any justification stands in breach of law and my privileges under the warrant of trade. Request for corruption reviewed and accepted. I request Tazos consent to the co-participation of representatives of the Von Valancius Dynasty investigation proceedings. Sacrilegious conspiracy. I refuse to help from laypersons. I am a cause of... Okay, he's gone off deep end. Pascal freezes, but green sparks light up his visor. He sends a hand towards Tazos and replies in a clanging voice to let the cycle be discontinued, which is what he said when you get him in the intro cutscene with him, right? He commands the, construction stuff. You realize Pascal's words are coming from both his Vox and Tazarus, then every sensor. So he's, definitely the host. He's basically a shaman. Tech shaman. Every sensor in Executor's battle harness lights up once blindingly, and the wounded armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Prior to notification, service units at the Kappa supply line are unauthorized to confront a rogue trader, command, retreat, and reintegrate negotiations. Okay. Oh, well, they're just going to slowly walk away. Okay, so we have to kill, 7 guys?
Take a knee and bow before me.
That was a little comical there. Okay, Tazarus is going to go and is adept. Okay, well, I think pretty clearly that. Yeah, that guy has his own little squad here of different roles. Alright, Abelard, you can go there. You'll probably live. Heinrichs. You go here. Cassie, I can hit from over here. And then good old Pascal, who is all the way back here. Well, I guess Pascal can be here for now. It's fine. Alright, well, it was a hope that we can get out of here safely. It may have been a long shot.
Not a problem for me.
I keep forgetting to do this. Okay. Those are armor values, 40, 20. This is some really low armor servitors. Okay.
Already done.
Okay, let's do a...
Suits my purposes.
Let's just do this.
All too easy.
Yeah, the cover gets cover. Okay. Then this is pretty clear to me. Yeah. Tactical knowledge, and then Can I really not hit both of these? There. Well, I'm not going to get a kill. That's pretty obvious. Is our armor pen 30%? That's fine. Let's use a surefire plan, because we need to remember to actually use that. That's fine. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, Heinrichs, and cool. So we do get the reposition. You can reposition the back line. Okay, this is pretty obvious. We need to buff ourselves with this, that way our subsequent turns are a lot more useful.
For the throne's glory.
Oh, yeah, not enough MP. Okay, well. Let's just go in here. You get the bonus armor at least now. Also, we have adaptive, so that should mean he gets... Yeah, you're fine. Could do this, but I think we're just going to take a swing. He exploded. When they explode like that, it's from the environmental effect, or from the location effect that we did there. Oh, sure. Yeah, now we taunted him, so he should shoot us. Yeah, great. Cool. Oh, hit. Cool. This is pretty obvious.
If it serves your cause.
Yeah, no real need to move. We shoot Tarzaros because I'm sure he is the main threat. Good damage. What's he actually have? He's a melee character. Okay. It's actually, he has a level 1 aggressive protocol. Oh, he's sure he gets a lot more dangerous. And he also has free attacks. Okay, yeah. Good, good. Cool. I'll take 54 there. I could have used name for the opening. That's fine. I doubt Tarz is going to be alive by the end. Okay. So here's my real question. Can I just... There we go. You know what? Enjoy Heinrichs. Okay. I should give it a dab already. We've gotten a lot more. Done more strength at the start of this turn. Okay, well I could hit Tarzus, but I would like nuke our team, so let's not do that.
Isn't this a job for now? You're clad in scarlet.
Cool. Alright, Heinrich's not gonna believe this. Cool. Take more damage. Well, he is down, so actually I might as well just...
Nothing stands against me.
We just Psychic Force. Sure. Pretty good. Yeah, would not be effective against him.
But of course, Lord Captain.
I guess I could have done this before and got even more, but it does not matter. We're at the end of this fight. Yeah, Pascal.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
God, that armor we get from the extra 44%. This man is just dead. Alright, enjoy.
My vow is to serve with significant value.
Requesting cessation of hostilities. Pascal, what did you do to Tarzus? Unable to fulfill request. Omicide granted me an epiphany, and I muted the main machine spirit that was filling Tarzus' mind with fury. I do not understand the manner of my appeal to it. The situation perfectly mirrors the incident on record by Norris, where, yeah, he appealed to the machine spirit of a malfunctioning mechanism and laid it to rest. Help your brother. Is dead, has been disabled. Material assets beyond restoration or reuse of spare parts. By his misconceptions, he was a servant of the Messiah. He did a little requiem. Sorry you had to... Please, we don't need to kill Opticon, he's fine. I'm sorry that you had to kill a comrade. I also regret having a negative assessment of this event. Still accused unit identifying itself as Pascal Hanma of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tarzus, I am not authorized to immediately arrest and execute the unit, but I am neither authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. Techbar Tarzus, the machine spirit, lived in a battle harness, succumbed to the suffering that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous, now their torment is over. I declare them martyrs, and I am requisitioning his neural augment, purpose of preserving his most memory. He is kind of just acquiring these neural augments, isn't he? He's over slain his own body and extracts the augment from his skull. I just listen in silence. Pascal knows what he's doing. You saw the agony your tech brother Tarzus was in. His unbridled pain spurred faith and intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voice to proclaim the machine spirit with his mind had merged was morbidly afflicted. The imperative of reverence paralyzed your will, and when you watched tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path of knowledge, and your procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. Let the cycle be discontinued. Oh my god. They're very reverent. Let the cycle be discontinued, tech comrades. What is the reason for this genuflection? Long time since the words of the Messiah of discontinuing were last spoken over public communication bans. We respectfully welcome wisdom's return. So he's not forgotten after all. Is that how you're referring to Armanot? Amarnot. I don't know why that word is hard for me. Following Archimagus is Armanot. Amarnot. I keep adding an extra N. Legislation removal from chain of command was authorship as attribution on a series of sermons discontinuing the cycle were disseminated across the Cognizance fleet. It was, in fact, a title used by many, and many times in the past. Are they not heretical? Statement is false, contrary to many servants of the Messiah thought, knew, preferred to believe. The Fleet Supreme Conclave never formulated issued an official statement. 37% of the Conclave members openly supported Amarant's views and were removed from the chain of command under circumstances that were classified. The Supreme Conclave has not had a quorum ever since. Where is he now? Unavailable. Though reports have mentioned Amarnot's since the incident of Mechanicus Hermetico, which led up to presumed destruction and disappearance of that void ship. Archive has no data on the Hermetico incident. The vessel is filled with blessed Armoured space operations. It is lost then? Is Pascal, like, really old, potentially? Were you among his followers? Negative. I had no contact with Amarnot and was never a member of his flock disciples' retinue. However, my analysis on the doctrine as outlined inspired me to deep respect for him, trust in him. I do like how they kind of speak with, like, a thesaurus, more or less, of, like, alternative words mean more or less the same thing, and or, like, these are, like, clarifications. Presumed conflict between you and Pascal has been resolved. Provides the basis for the fallen Tech Brothers hypothesis in question. Out of respect for due to lack of authorization to indict the followers of the Messiah of discontinuing, we will not proceed with detainment, arrest, termination. All Messiahs knows all, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Pascal, what happened? Decided to sustain my words with an excerpt from the Blessed Armarod's sermons on loss of internal and external function, verse 4. My analysis deemed it appropriate. Now that conflict's been restored, you may remain aboard my ship. Request denied. Supply line delegation is leaving Dargonus, expressed gratitude for the hospitality/ceasefire and proclaims intent to return to Footfall to resume performing its regular functions. Cool. These like sometimes how like things just stay on the floor. This can go. Yeah, I like how they just had absolutely terrible things. Is there anything else in here?
Victory awaits.
No. Well, that was... We got Pascal's quest progressing. We haven't had anything from Argenta in a while. Maybe I need to talk to her. Let me check her journal. Let's see, do I have any like quest flags? Granted, I think we're probably going to be moving on to the next trigger set of like flag triggers for like a bunch of companion quests and world events once we get Dargonus, because that'll be our 3 main planets secured. Oh, okay, we're actually back on the ship. Really quickly, shopping. Do we have anything here? We do. Which means we actually get some new stuff. We get some new shields, significantly better shields. Oh, and then... Cool. Everyone else is pretty much at a flat value. Yeah, we don't have too much to sell. 3,000 to the next level is pretty crazy. I mean, yes, it's 3,000 for them. 3,000 for them. 3,000. I guess, yeah, everything we have. This one's closer to 4,000. Large med kit. Pretty nice piece of medium armor, though. You don't really need any of these either. Alright, well, I'll just save that stuff. We got the ship stuff. So 2 different shields. Just better overall shields. Kinetic blast attacks. I think just the higher value is more important for us right now, honestly. Oh yeah, this lower accuracy for a higher crit. We'll try it. We're using longer range like equipment, so maybe that's a worse idea, but you know, you gotta try it. Gotta go for the crit chance. Alright, we finally get a land on Dargonus. Who, you know, whose R just keeps shifting around. Okay, well, we'll go here. I think the Administratum was Jai's stuff. Right, because she needs to become a, whatever she's trying to become, like an official trader. Oh, we get a little cutscene. I like how we're not like, I like how we're not like walking in any like decent way. Oh my god, those characters had designs. Emperor protects, welcome hope, your lordship. Versarian, that's Abelard. And Clementa Versarian, Court Chancellor of Devon Valencia's Dynasty, on behalf of all Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora. Her departure is a terrible blow to all of us. To us all. But as one star expires and there always flares to life, and although still overcome with bitterness, grief, subjects hope that you will become the Trade Dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Clementia. He offers a reserved nod, she nods in return, and the line and his brow softens ever so slightly. Oh my god, you got a portrait of Achilles. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and scars and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcome gesture. Achilles Scandalar? Scalander. I don't know where I replaced that with an A. I'm just, I'm reading whatever I want to read, apparently. Secretary to Administratum Department. I hope your journey to Dargonus is not darkened by unwanted troubles. We had some incidents, but those are irrelevant at this moment. Quite right. What happened cannot be changed, but you still have great deeds ahead of you, so let's look to the future with hope in our hearts. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds, or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering questions you might have? Governor Drivestem has been notified of your arrival in Dargonus and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations of the official visit are well within hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on, Clementia. What did you say your last name was? You heard correctly, your lordship. I'm a House Versarian, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. Session of service is an effective good. It creates new generations' understanding of their function within the mechanism. Chancellor Versarian has held her position in Devon Valencia's court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodore's respect through acts of great perseverance. There's no room for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it. Emperor blesses those who strengthen humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny, or easy Abelard. So, getting defensive about assuming nepotism. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why isn't the governor here to meet me already? He's on the other side of the planet, sure. Sent word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel a great distance to your domain. Do you think they'd have an aircraft that's about there, whatever? Chancellor Versarian appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with a new rogue trader. Yeah, that makes sense. I like to rest for a meeting where my chambers. They're very close, just down the hall, and it's also where the study and audience chamber are. The Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, arrange for it to be tidied up and ready whenever you may need it. Alright, you're dismissed. But I have a request, perhaps before the meeting takes place. Can you spare a few minutes of conversation? Yeah, that's, right, Heinrich wants to talk to him. Spiders in a jar. Oh, also, I meant to check the... Yeah, we need to find that, and then, yeah, okay, cool. We can do this and then get net -1 for 2 adamantine, which is kind of funny. We probably will do this. But, yeah, we'll see after we finish as of what resources this colony provides. I imagine it'll be people, but... Also, I should save. When's the last time I hard saved? Quite a bit ago. In fact, before the fight that we started. Nope. Main turn is up the stairs, straight ahead. Scandalar's humbly waste opportunity to meet you there. And then personal chambers are upstairs to the right. Cool. That was he's pointing. Okay, sorry. I thought it was like done and just was taking a while to finish the animation. Alright, and he says he'll await orders. But first, we have to loot our own castle. Alright, so our NPCs are kind of float. So this is similar to the ship in terms of like having NPCs just free around the map rather than following us. Is this our room? It is. Oh, hey. Holy gifts. I'll take those. Okay, so that's for like the warrior attack that you can go through enemies or whatever. Let's try to shard that. Okay. What we got over here?
Something of interest.
Oh, that. Thanks, Irla. Alright, just money. What we got going on out here? Oh! Cutscene. Yeah. Well, that was nice, I suppose. Oh, well, we got 100%. Oh, a heavy melta. 3 AP. Yeah, we don't have a heavy weapon either. There we got some more items. Okay, cool. Money. Xeno artifact. Okay, so that's where she kept all her, like, Xeno stuff. Right. Theodore obviously had quite the Xenos fascination. Arc rifle up there. It's a las gun. What's so special about the las gun? I feel like that's oh, actual items. Oh, hey, Pascal. Okay. It hits an ally. Now, here's the question. Does Cassia... really not using the officer archetype abilities. Right, she's the only one doing actual, like, friendly fire at all, ever. 10% more damage on her. Jai, you can have the cloak, I suppose. Oh, but this allows her to spam grenades. Okay, and then this guy is Pascal, unless you have insane things. Yeah, you kind of transitioned into a range build here, mister. More tech use, which is always great, and then also more plasma damage, which doesn't show up there, but that's fine. Okay, now we have the ability to sit down here. Alright. Okay, so this is interactable. Sure. That's fine. There's a book. Oh, okay, so this is like a test of how well you know Theodore. Okay. Well, Litany's those motive force sounds correct. Music. This is a skill check, okay. Oh, symphony sounds correct. Alright, well, that's one. There we go. Let's see. Oh, this is the... Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I was like, what, is this going to open a safe or something? No, it is the data cache. Alright, we have both caches. What do we do with them? I think once you got both, they'd like maybe decrypt. Oh no, we have to go back to the ship computer. That's definitely what has to happen, right? Right, because that's where we got the quest in the first place. Alright. Heinrich's... Cool. Nope, hold on. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Why... Did you see that? that was like a trap notification. Well, luckily our characters get looting things. Alright, what's Zacchaeus here got to say? Been many moons. I hope your cousin's feeling well. She is in good health. She sends regards to you, as well wishes for your safe return. For as long as the stars may shine, my vigil continues. This is code speak so easily. Okay, so it does. Yeah, I'm not so foolish to fail to notice conversation in code. Your insight deserves credits. Then again, expecting nothing less from Theodore's successor. Let me introduce Scandalar properly. I'm going to call him first name basis. Owlcat properly. In addition to duties as secretary to Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scandalar. They use a lot of like Greek words. Now I think about it. Anyways, you'll find his services useful, especially when dealing with schemes of humanity's foes beyond the borders of your protectorate. Greetings. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences for Lady Theodora on the loss of Theodora. I will do everything to track down and destroy all of Kunrad Verdigir's accomplices in the capital world. Anything about what happened to Vortigir? It's been a while. We haven't talked about any of this for a bit. He's a heretic and a traitor to the dynasty. Word of his treason reached Dargonus too late. He came, planted, and left immediately once he was sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. First, the rumors started that you were the one responsible for Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin any who showed any signs of doubt, but it seems unlikely that the wardens got to everyone who's allowed to dart into their heart and now nurtures them in secret. Give me a report. It's already been forwarded to Abelard. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust paper or data slate with its contents. You see, may the Emperor have mercy on our soul. We're perfectly aware of Dargonus' political environment. You, however, have only been arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, nobles Dargonus, much like nobles of most worlds, are akin to spiders and jar. Okay, so the quest name. I'm ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, whoever they deem to be the weakest. They are well-respected, rich, and powerful individuals. Okay, sorry, there's a lot of text in my throat starting to die. So, yeah, just list the families and we can ask about them all. Alright, Drive Stems. That's the governor, right? Ancient governor House of Dargonus, particularly the greater the wealth of Von Valence's protectorate, the fuller their coffers grow. The reputation is flawless except for one detail. We have evidence that Drive Stems' rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xenos raids. I find these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the Drive Stems, so we lack solid proof and it might never surface. Closer official is to the rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. I like to remind everyone that rubbing shoulders with Xenos is heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of Von Valencia's heir, not his servant. But the Garkras. Hail from a remote forge world, and among their distant relevance, many are servants of the Omnisire. Alright, cool. House itself is close to the cult of Deus Mechanicus, both in spirit and in their business connections. They oversaw industrial shipments within your protectorate until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Kiava Gamma was severed, they have been quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care. I've already been there. It was tainted by the cult of the Final Dawn. These are grim tidings. The tragedy that an industrial world of such tremendous capacity was brought down by the pernicious influence of the archenemy. If perhaps my colleagues can pick up the cultish tale of the Cold Void, of course it would be a small consolation to all of us. What can you tell me about Saravac? Religious and hardworking, so, like, right, this is how you're kind of going to align yourself on the factions. So these are kind of the, like, Father Hadamos or whatever faction. We've got the, Adeptus Mechanicus, and then we've got kind of the Casabolica mission, right? And so they think we should get a little bit more controlled rather than letting people be, as laissez-faire as Theodore was letting it be. Alright, Rosarians are line founded by Theodore's seneschal and are such a nominally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy from which Lord Abelard hails. Under Dargonus, however, their position is precarious. First leader never granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old house of Dargonus, and secondly, the other families not seen as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to road traders' favor. Well, they're probably going to keep clinging to our favor. Rosarians are responsible for Capital World's fleet and majority of the cargo shipments of domestic routes. That sounds pretty important. Alright, anything else? There was. Main reason my presence on the planet is the awesome threat they pose. Yeah, everything went kind of crazy, and they're still trying to get solid lines of intel. Soon my powered supply of intelligence on when and where the Xenos will strike next. Do not doubt Drivesen will beg for your protection against Xenos, and in this fight, information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes the intervention of a rogue trader and his mighty void ships to avert a disaster. Thunderstorm. I was like, is that lightning corner of my eye? Alright, we already know about that. Yeah. Okay, that's just saying the same stuff. What are your responsibilities? Officially, I'm the Secretary of the World's Administratum. Less officially, I can't disclose that to us. Sorry, tell me about the Xenos. Alright, Drukhari are our main foe right here, which makes sense. They're guys who took the sun in the Winterscale territories. Langren's Belt's base of pirates are now not above dealing with Xenos. Cool. I'm surprised they didn't give us like a Ruber. Anything about the Cult of Final Dawn? Very limited, unfortunately. Your unofficial work. We don't need to anger Heinrichs. Scars on your face. Promethean explosion, sure. Attempted assassination. Okay, so that's a quick return to ships thing. Is it just one level? It is. I'll do that off screen. Alright, let's continue. Governor's waiting. Okay, so yes, just saying that they have strong familial, and not just familial, but history resemblance. Man, I cannot speak. Their responsibilities. I'm a trade representative. Great. Oversees all of our properties. Great. What can you tell me about Dargonus? Yep, it's the capital, basically. And we have a contract of the Administratum that gives them partial control of the planet, gold, and also many noble families. And they are profit driven. That's fine. How is it, or does it say in contact? Not this time. Yep, the Estrada Delapafica went into a frenzy and we lost a bunch of psychers. That sounds fine. They're so volatile. What sense is there in keeping them? You know, just a thing. You can't just completely dismantle a system and expect things to function well for anywhere in the foreseeable future. That's fine. Any other issues? Oh, recently raided by Xenos. Okay. Alright. Tell me about Drivesen. So, respected man, and not just under Dargonus, but throughout the Protectorate. For many centuries, this house is okay. She's just giving us the tirade that, you know, their advertisement here. But then we have our fellowship thing here, which we had a pretty good chance. You know, obviously not what she truly feels. No, I don't believe I feel it either. We have different views on how to run a world. We sometimes have discussions over the laws that we've enacted, but we both work to the good of Von Valencia's Protectorate. That said, without a doubt. Thank you for the report. Alright, let's go. Let's get this done with. I like how I'm not in the chair. I'm just here in front of the desk. I imagine we like shook hands or something. Can I zoom in? Yeah, I like the wig. Alright. 25th line, keep her to sacred warmth, blah blah blah. Okay, I bid you welcome. Please accept my deepest condolences. Half a year of mourning, so we honor the memory. Yeah, that sounds fine. Immediately give all necessary instructions. She's a strong leader, we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on our wisdom and preserve in spite of the tragedy. Together, and let us carry where she can no longer... carry on where she no longer can by leading Devon Valence's protectorate to even greater prosperity. The last one won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, to Astropath Dargonus flew into... Okay, we already heard about this. We're one of the only ships that is capable of using, like, actually navigating. Met a ship from Dargonus not too long ago. The clue is transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight. That was the Chaos Bomb. Just a regrettable bit of news. What's more, leaving Dargonus has been forbidden for several cycles now. It seems the Warsarian family has once again failed in their primary responsibilities. We'll investigate this at once, as well as the fact that the ship had to acquire a permit with the Administratum seal. Does your nephew still serve in the Administratum Palace? He presses the number of buttons on his cogitator built in his bracer and looks at you surprised. I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but did so on the rogue trader's authorization. That's why no one dared to impede its departure. It would seem that Conrad somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even the original. A tool like that in the hands of a trader does not bode well. Conrad, we already know this, but let's just ask him. He visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering in quarters has come from. I shall be frank with you. Her sudden death was a blow to everyone in absence of any sort of verifiable or complete information about her successor gave grounds to all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially someone deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something sacrilegious as murdering a rogue trader. However, Conrad Vodavir was once a true boon to protectorate back in the day, and such some might heed his words. Ooh. We need iconoclast points. We need to reach the next rank, for my God's sake. So we're gonna iconoclast here, even if it's like, because you have like actual very strong bonuses tied to like getting your locking into basically one morality system. It's even more locked in than say like Pathfinder or whatever, where like a couple classes have like locks for their alignment stuff. This one, you're pretty much doing 3 separate playthroughs. Let's just get the iconoclast points. It's 5. Yeah, your desire is most contendable. Please not forget, her lord should never bow to her attendance or might some shows as a sign of weakness. This is actually the Dargonus nobility expect from me in light of loss of routes of communication with other words. Shall by default fate of the Agri-World Janus furthermore. Okay, so this is like if you like somehow, I guess you could just literally warp here, so it's not unreasonable, I suppose, to assume it's possible, but probably not the path. Oh. If you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most is Penal World Vebos 6, one of the key mining supplies of Protectorate. Intriguing concern for Vebos 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own extraction stations there? It widens in fear. I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions. You see, without Vebos 5, the manufacturers on the world will need to make haste to find new supplies elsewhere and arrange for new shipments. In these troubled times, they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is prosperity. Alright, I've already been to just bad news all around. Cavagama was overtaken. Assume that House Garprek is in for an official investigation. If I remind you, they have particularly close ties to the Deaths Mechanicus and serve as patrons of Cavagama. Not speaking to the deference of criminals, your lordship, but from where I stand, an outbreak of heresy in Cavagama could hardly have been perpetrated by a noble family who stands to lose the majority of their wealth should the industrial world falls. We'll wait for the results of the investigation. Ooh, this is like giving us options not to give them information, quite frankly. We'll be at least halfway agreeable. He hasn't, like, per se done anything bad to us. He's obviously just, you know, a very politician. What's of the industrial world? Are you expect trade to recommence? Yep, they will serve once again. Garpak will be overjoyed to hear it, and thank you for dispelling the darkness over Kiava Gamma. And we've been to Janus. Fiat Line is one of the most respected and Von protector. An heir of such a well-respected blood could not handle whatever fallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Oh, yeah, again, we're really, like, getting options of, like, what to tell this guy, right? Because he's probably going to be able to leverage that against the other houses. We'll just be forthcoming for right now. You know, we found Chaos Worship. Not good. Alright, we have Xenos to deal with. Okay, so Via Boss 6, once again, is probably our next target. Alright, smaller scale things. The Succession. Here we have some minor houses. Okay, so what are we doing with the minor houses that are potentially, you know, discontented? Eliminate the most prominent malcontents quickly, but do not threaten entire families. Hopefully these steps will be enough to keep the rest from causing any more trouble. One more thing, the inauguration is bearer to sick or warrants, but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire of one detail. Imagine you tend to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by equally long-lasting friendship of being represented by Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume this duty will be accorded to House Drivestead. Which houses can represent me? I imagine it's going to be all of them, especially since we have the options here. Like, again, they haven't, like, actively done anything yet. That is, yeah, we might get this investigation here where they have a big failure, which I imagine where the story's going to go. We're going to find them tied to the Drukhari or something, as Scandalar may have implied. And, you know, but for right now, I think we can stick with it. No need to alter traditions here. Let's just ask the question to fluster him. We'll do drive stem because I think our, like, this will maybe negate the potential negative effect of our iconoclast action here, making it potentially less stable. Never doubt your lordship's decision. I can tell that the future holds a fruitful partnership for us and prosperity for all Dargonus. I shall immediately relay your orders, most gracious rogue trader. May the golden throne illuminate your path. Tell me about yourself and House drive stem. House of the oldest, most respected, my ancestors, yeah, founding, blah blah blah. As for me personally, I am a humble servant of the Emperor and loyal subject for a trader, and to my great pleasure and honor of calling myself a close friend. Abelard is not in belief in that statement. Alright, when is the ceremony? We have to finish dealing with pressing issues, and then it will happen. Cool. Alright, that'll be all. We're getting XP for it. Weird that it's like in two separate little bundles there. Cool. Well, that's probably a good place to end it. I'm going to quickly go back onto the ship though. And we're going to look at the both colony option and the data caches now that we have both of them. Oh. Terrible news from Dargonus. I should have saved. Okay. Terrible news from Dargonus Captain. The Hive City Scipion 84-249 has been destroyed by a series of cascading failures. Production is halted. Millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and are overloading transport lines leading to neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive? What's the cause of the catastrophe? It's unclear currently. Their noble houses are blaming each other. Agents of Achilles died heroically while trying to save the population from this disaster, and final reports meant that some vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive did not go in further details. Additionally, all of your servants are currently busy investigating the causes of the crisis, but are not doing anything to deal with the consequences. They're trying to figure out who to pin blame on rather than to resolve the situation. Alright, advisors. Yeah, I agree, Heinrich. Death of Achilles' agents troubles me. May not be a coincidence. Until the cause of disaster can be concretely established, I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up prohibitive cordons where refugees can be contained in wastelands between the hives. Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate, dignity, blah blah blah. Okay, she's doing the, save more people. Noble houses are trying to wash their hands of this, how predictable, and yet it is their duty to see the planet meet its tides obligation, bring glory and revenue to treasury in your absence. Let the aristocrats take care of the refugees, make sure they don't stop until every last refugee has some task to fulfill. Blood? Hey, efficiency. And Bane. Ooh. We'll go with Heinrichs. I agreed that all the agents like simultaneously dying is a little too suspicious. You did a thorough investigation identified many refugees who managed to reach and hide in the hives. Remembering how the rogue trader had treated their relatives and neighbors, they could have plotted their revenge if only they hadn't been expelled into the wastelands. Cool. Block complacency. Alright, you give us people. Great. I was right. Alright, what are we doing here? Ooh, restoration's tempting, just because you get a bunch of, like, colony-wide bonuses. So we lose 1 profit factor and 1 provision, which is easy to buy. And we get 3 people. A 5 bonus to all skills is also pretty tempting. We do lose people, though, which is a kind of low resource for us. Oh. Oh. I think we do this one. Route cost is crazy, if that's how I think it works. Which I think it is? We'll see, but we're going for that. That's too tempting, because that's such a global ability where we can actually just hop around. And we'll look at these when we get around to them. And so, last thing, before we get off, is we want to check out the data caches. And then next time we'll probably progress Jai's quest. And then see where we go from there. Because we still got a lot of systems to explore. And we probably now have a bunch of flags for new events starting. Let's do the Kiava Gamma. Okay, so like reread it. Got it. Oh. Epitaph begot the incident, that which is destroyed, change everything. This incident is the starting point. Initiating the incident breathed life and marked the beginning of all, and marked the beginning of Nomos, it traded Nomos. Unacceptable deviation, violation of sacred protocols, possibility of tech heresy, Omnissiah shield us from null heresy. Input prompt, okay. What was that just now? Alright, I saw a word among the lines of code. Nomos, what does it mean? Was that scrap code? It's a mystery to me. If mechanism truly is tainted, then could it be? If heresy truly has taken hold of machine spirit and scorned Omnissiah's every tenet, then the spirit's madness could be such as chosen a name for itself, but it's nothing more than my hypothesis. Do we have a sentient ship? Alright. What was that just now? Catastrophic mistake. A heinous violation of the purity of the hallowed code. This mechanism is touched by heresy. It is branded and tainted by it. Now the machine code spirit produces code as before, and yet, Lord Captain, heed my plea. All operation of the machine must be halted until the Engiseer Prime has inspected it. Report this to Pascal. My knowledge is insufficient to cleanse the code of this mechanism. I will inform the Engiseer Prime of the disturbed development. Only he has the power to expel heresy from corrupted machine spirit. Okay, so we got these things. Okay, so this is a study of the tech blight. We saw some like referencing to this in some of the events, I think. Right, there was like a contained lab or whatever that had spilled out in one of the Kialva Gamma events. Yeah, it's pure tech blight. It just destroys technology. Oh, but it can be used to like splice together organic and inorganic matter in a way that's, you know, obviously not like surgery or whatever, like fuses them. Burnt clay is the only thing that contained a pestilence. Interesting. Right, they're ceramic. So, you know, very fragile. Oh, they succeeded in creating a weaponized form of it. What we got here? So maybe they got a little hubristic over there. I'll delete data. No trader like a lackey is humiliating and dispiriting to put up with part of the errand servant to an imperious madman vested with even greater power than that of any rogue trader. Alas, when one side of the scales holds my pride and the other, fate of Von Valence's protector and my entire bloodline, choice becomes a futile illusion. It'd be far too naive for me not to prepare for the worst. Epitaph will decide the future of the expanse of the world, but I have some time at my disposal until then. Heirs with Von Valence's blood in them should be located and brought to me. I cannot afford to delay the choice of succession any longer. Cool. Can we talk to Pascal about what we just saw?
My apologies.
And also about the event.
My processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
I saw you only at 81%. You're not surprised that Armanot's words had such an effect on Opticon?
I was not knowledgeable as to how popular Blessed Almanat's teaching was in exploratory circles. The Cognizance fleet is massive. His ideas might have found a larger following on its periphery than in the Mother Squadron.
You found anything out?
The data is scarce. His identification code is the same as mine, and his memory contains data confirming that the assassination did take place. Unfortunately, some of his memory was damaged by pulses broadcast by his battle harness. I can assert with some confidence that he was who he claimed to be, and that he served the Deus Mechanicus earnestly and eagerly. My study of the minds of the tech comrades, Abel, Tarsus, and Demence, has revealed an anomalous similarity between the patterns of damage their memories sustained. What I attributed to cognitive idiosyncrasies, synaptic damage, and the distortive action of scrap code may be the result of a different kind of influence. The undecryptable data fragments in their memory arrays are mysteriously symmetrical.
He gave off the impression of a paranoid madman.
Notwithstanding his permanent state of agony, he was not cognitively dysfunctional. His desire to immediately destroy the object he had deemed profane was partly dictated by his engrammatic augmentics, which were receiving imperatives from his battle harness. In light of the oddness of our matching identification codes, I find merit in his hypothesis as to the existence of a clandestine malevolent agent or conspiracy operating inside our fraternity.
Who do you think was behind the assassination?
No data available. I will hypothesize that the assassination was instigated by an enemy of the Blessed Amanat's doctrine. I accept the possibility that the assassins were targeting me, only to be led astray by Tarsus and my own identical identifiers.
It's really, really eliminating the, not bringing up the possibility that you potentially were guilty.
I am concerned about the fate of Archmagus Amanat. According to
That is true.
Optical 2, he went missing in the wake of the incident on an Arc Mechanicus, the Hermetico. Information about that ship and its perishing has been purged from the archives. I accept the possibility that the incident on the ship, the concealed data, and the assassination have all been part of a single conspiracy.
You were hunted too. Remember our meeting in Rykard by Norris?
This statement is true. There were also the bodies we discovered in the hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium of unknown infiltrators who had posed as members of the cult of the Final Dawn. There is merit to the hypothesis that all carriers of Magos Haneman's identification code are targets of persecution.
No, it's, I guess, fair. I feel like that's just not going to have a good result. Ever occurred to you these events may be part of his plan?
That is a valid hypothesis, but not a very likely one. Its truth value is irrelevant, as it does not contradict the necessity of establishing the fate of Archmagus Amanat.
Alright, let's not antagonize him for no reason. Perhaps you'll be able to find out more.
I will continue my research into the blessed
Leave, be gone.
with all due reverence. May your
labors. Yeah, and very last thing, we're going to talk with Argenta, because we haven't done anything with her for a bit. Does Abelard even have a quest?
Greetings.
Oh.
Of course. My mission...
Yeah, we have to
One
find
day
the actual planet. That's fair. Alright, well, with that, we'll end this here. I'm going to do some leveling off screen, and then, yeah, next time we'll just continue with Jai, and then, you know, see where we're going.